In the world of Formula One, danger was once part of the contract. The 1960s were fast, brutal, and unforgiving. But few moments would define the call for change, quite like what happened at Spa-Francorchamps in 1966. This is the story of Jackie Stewart, his crash, his survival, and the impact it had on the future of racing. Spa in 1966 was a different beast. It wasn't the modern circuit we know today. It was a 14-kilometre stretch of public roads, winding through the Ardennes forest. No runoff areas, no barriers, no real medical response. That June, the rain came down hard. The track was soaked. Drivers had little visibility, but the race went on. Jackie Stewart, 27 years old, confident and blisteringly fast, lined up in his BRM, ready to push through one of the most dangerous tracks on the calendar. On lap 2, at over 150 miles per hour, Stewart's BRM hit a patch of standing water near the master kink. The car aquaplaned, completely uncontrollable. It slammed into a telephone pole, then a farmhouse, before coming to rest in a ditch. Fuel was leaking into the cockpit. Stewart was trapped. Pinned in by the steering wheel, his ribs were broken, his collarbone shattered, and worst of all, no marshals, no ambulance, no fire extinguisher, nothing. Two fellow drivers, Graham Hill and Bob Bondurant, had also crashed nearby. They ran to help. With no proper tools, they borrowed a spectator's toolkit. It took them over 20 minutes to get Stewart out. He was then placed on the floor of a van, and driven to a nearby hospital. And that hospital, no doctors were waiting. No stretchers, they didn't even know who he was. Jackie Stewart survived. But something changed in him that day. He'd stared down the fragility of life in a sport that treated safety as an afterthought. And from that point on, Stewart became more than a driver. He became a crusader. Helmets, seatbelts, medical crews, barriers. He pushed for it all. In the face of ridicule, in the face of a sport resistant to change. Today's F1 owes much of its safety to that moment in 1966. A crash in the rain, a driver trapped in silence, and a realization that racing didn't have to kill. Jackie Stewart's crash at Spa was more than an accident. It was a turning point, and it saved lives.